Hey guys, welcome to my studio. I'm Verna Mullen from StampinNotes, and today is Tuesday, December 16th, 2025, and we are going to be making a little mini memory album. I'm going to show you how to make these. They're really cute. They're not really big. They make a great gift for photos or a memory or even recipes. So I'm really excited to share this with you. I want to tell you that there's a few more days to sign up for my December kit in the mail with the beautiful friendly foliage bundle. And let's take a look at that kit. We're going to go there. So I want to show you what comes in your kit. It features the beautiful, this is a new online exclusive friendly foliage bundle with the stamps and dies. I love the dies in this set. And you're going to get the ingredients to make two each of 4 different cards and a calendar. Here's 4 different cards, a calendar for the new year. We need a calendar for the new year. It's a little stand-up calendar and it has this little notebook in it, and you can decorate it however you would like. So in your kit, you get about $24 worth of product supplies. You're going to get a half a pack of the Everyday Happiness Designer Series paper. I love this. It's so pretty and, nice colors for winter. And you're going to get a whole spool of the cloud cover faux linen ribbon and a whole package of the muted palette dots. They go great with this designer series paper. You will get the PDF tutorial and a video review and everything to make two each of 4 different cards and the calendar, and your postage, and the cost is only $45. It's a subscription club. So maybe you don't want to subscribe necessarily, so you could, it's only $45 a month for the subscription club. If you only want it for December, you can pay $49 and get the kit just for December. So it's a great way to start off the new year, and I'm excited to share it with you. If you're on, say hi, tell me where you're from, and we'll get going on making our mini album. But if you're interested in this kit in the mail, let me know. And um, you can email me at vernastamps@gmail.com. It's a great deal and a lot of fun to make. So we'll set this aside now, and we'll start. I want to show you a couple of the albums I've already made. And then, so this is a great little project for a gift, or for even, uh, a memory for yourself. So however you want to use it. I've also used these memories and more note card sets. They're back in stock, and I'm trying to think what the official name of it is. But you'll see how I've used it in the albums. It's great. It has the 4x6 cards, and then it has these other smaller cards. I don't know if these are 3x4. Some of them have space so you can write on them, which makes it great for this. So let me show you what the inside of this looks like. For this one, I've used the Delicate Pines Designer Series paper, and we open it up, and here's a pocket in the front. I've stuck one of these cards in there. You can write on the back, or someone else can write on the back something they want to remember. So there's a pocket there, and then we have also flip flaps. Now I'll tell you a little more about flip flaps, but these are little plastic see-through covers that you can put a photo in, or a memento, or even a gift card. So here's a couple of the 4x6 flip flaps here, and the photo slides in from the side here. I've die cut some of the Memories and More, one of the large cards with a branching out die. I have a background piece that's basic white. So here's a space for photos, and then here's a little pocket with a little card on the back to write a note or a memory. And then here we have another small flip flap with Merry Christmas on it, and two other large ones, and a pocket in the back. So lots of room for some little mementos and fun things. So that's with the Delicate Pines designer, or the Elegant Pines and Snowflake Designer Series paper. And then I've stamped Christmas. You could die cut like 2025, so you know what year it is. You know, you can decorate any way you want to. Hi, Lisa. Hi, Christina. Nice to have you here. Hi, Renee. Nice to have you gals on there. So this other album that I made, I used also these note cards, and this is with a Nest of Winter Designer Series paper, and this would make a nice album for a man. It could be Christmas, or even just general outdoors. If you have someone in the family that's a hunter, for pictures and that kind of thing. And then if you wanted to make it Christmas, you could stick one of the Christmas sentiment from the Memories and More note card set in there. There's two flip flaps here, and here's a place to layer a photo, or also to or write something. A couple more flip flaps. I guess there's just, nope, there's two here, and here's a pocket, and then more flip flaps in the back, and another pocket. So this one I really haven't decorated yet, but I wanted to leave it kind of plain so I could decide how I wanted to decorate it. So, and then for the die cuts in there, I used the largest branching out die, and the third largest. So we skipped one. This is a really awesome set, and I believe that the stamp set is retiring, but I think that the dies are staying on. And I will have a tutorial for this, and also an ordering special this week is going to be mystery packages. So if your order this week is $50 or more, you'll get a mystery package of me, something retired, gently used, or brand new that wasn't used. It could be designer series paper, it could be ribbon, a stamp set, something fun like that. And so and then you'll also get the tutorial for this mini album. If your order is $75 or more, your package will go up in value, like to $50. If your order is $100 or more, it will go up to $75, and on and on. You get the gist of that. So, anyways, hi Margaret, thanks for sharing. And so we are going to today use a fabulous new designer series paper, and I just want to make sure I've got the name right. This is Hobby Haven, and what's really cool about this paper is it's all, the photos on it are all of hobbies, like comfortable reading, and so there's plants hobby. Here's the reading one with books. Isn't that cool? And so there's, and this is a 12 by 12, and there's even die cuts in it. Here's one that's beauty, all kinds of beauty things. And today we're going to use this, which is the cooking baking one, because we're going to make a little recipe album. And here's sewing, which is another favorite one of mine. Isn't that cool? Sewing machine, patterns, scissors, and there's yarn there. There's an iron. So pin cushion, but look at the die cuts in this set. So we're going to decorate our album today with some of these. And there's 2 sheets of them, but they're just so cool. Look at the mannequin, or the form for it, dressmaker's form. There's a tag here, little tabs, a camera, and there's plant shape. Here's some herbal things, beauty things, plants, a little bit of everything there. So this is just so much fun. And we'll go ahead and start. And thank you for sharing, Renee and Margaret. All right, so, and Renee, I loved your beautiful card. I showed that last week. It's so pretty. And enjoyed getting that. All right, so for this, we're going to start with this. What's another nice thing about this little album is there's no cardstock other than the few die cuts that, like the branching out layers. It's all made with designer series paper. So we're going to start with a piece of designer series paper. And this is 10 and a half, sorry, 10 3/4 by 6 1/2. 10 3/4 by 6 1/2. And inspiration for this is from Shelley Douglas, or Sarah Douglas at Stampin' Up. She had made one. It was on her YouTube channel. And also Mary Nabe. And Mary's last name is spelled Knabe. So Mary Nabe. I'm using some of Mary's ideas and some of my own. So this is 10 3/4 by 6 1/2, and we're going to score this in 4 places. So we're going to score this at 1 3/4. Sorry, we're going to score this at 4 1/2, and I'm going to go ahead and take my trimmer arm out here. So we're going to start at 4 1/2 right here. And of course, when you're scoring designer series paper, you want to go kind of easy. 4 1/2, 5 1/4, and 5 1/2, and 6 1/4. So we have 4 score lines. 4 1/2, 5 1/4, 5 1/2, and 6 1/4. I think I'm done with the trimmer. And I forgot to tell you, there is a bundle that goes with this set. I'm not using it today. The Hobby Haven is called Creative Haven. It has some great embellished sentiments here. Very cool. And some really fun dies. Like there's a banner and a tag, some greenery. So that's a really fun set. I will be doing more with that. All right, so we're gonna go ahead. I don't think we're gonna have too much of a shine with that if I take that paper off there, glare. And I'm just gonna fold these down. Let's fold them this way first. And let's see here. I know with your DSP, sometimes it's a little harder to tell where your scoring is. You're trying to be careful not to rip it. Does anybody have this paper? And then there's one more right here. Is everybody ready for Christmas? I am hosting this year, so we're looking forward to having family here for that. Good grief, I can't find the score line. There it is. All right, I'm going to bring that in and maybe score that again. Come on. I'm not sure that's right. There we go. Okay. So we kind of have a book binding fold. This paper is a little heavier than some of the other paper. All right, so there is our fold, and you can see there's a little bit of a like a 1/4 of an inch spine on the end, and then we have the two folds that are closer to the flaps there. Okay, so all right, so we're going to start with that, and the first thing we're going to do is make our pockets. We're going to make a pocket for the left flap and the right flap. Okay, can you hear me now, Margaret? It should be the same. Dorcas, hi. Yes, it's available. And Lisa's saying the suite isn't. Okay, we should be, the sound should be okay. You guys let me know if the sound is okay, because I didn't remove anything I shouldn't. I hope it's okay. All right, so to make the flaps, oh, it's a ribbon that's on back order. Thanks, Lisa. To make the flaps, we have 2 pieces of designer series paper, and this is 7.5 by 3. All right, so here's our 7.5 by 3, and we're going to do some scoring on them. We're going to score each one at 1/2 inch on 3 sides, both the 2 short sides and the long side. Okay, so here's the short or the long side, and then 2 of the short sides. All right, so at 1/2 inch. And we've got 2 of them to do. One long side and 2 small sides. All right, and you can see I'm scoring several times, but I'm not really pushing down very hard. Just kind of going back and forth fast. All right, and then I'm going to take my scissors and I'm just going to cut the corner from between this score line and the long one on both ends. Then I'm going to fold these in like that. Fold the sides in first and then the long flap. Let's see if we got any glue in this. And I'm just going to add a dab of glue here on this flap right here to hold that up. Oh, come on. There we go. And then to hold this side up. We've got a little bit of glue sneaking out there on the end. I'm grabbing a wipe. I'm going to wipe that glue up. Okay. And then we're going to add our adhesive to these flaps here. Go down along the end here. I would use either the liquid glue or the tear and tape for this project. Okay, so we're bringing our little book back in here. And the opening is on this side, so we're going to put it on the front flap. You want to make sure your opening is going the right way on your pocket. Okay, so there is our front flap. And then, so we want to turn this one this way because we want the opening on this side here. We'll clip our corners. Oh, good, Margaret. And we'll add a little bit of adhesive to hold our side to the bottom of our pocket, the bottom flap. And then I just think this paper's so cute. I wasn't really excited about the ribbon, but maybe it's just me. I'll show it to you. That goes with this sweet. It's like a chevron ribbon. All right, so we want this right on the end. Let me turn it over and see if it's even. Okay. All right, so there's our inside. We've got our pockets on there, just like that. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add 2 of the flip flaps. Now let's take a look. They come in different sizes, and there's 6 in each package, and there's a horizontal and vertical, and we want the ones with the flap on the side. That one, and whoops, getting everything but the one I want. All right, and then they also come in 3x4, which we're going to use, and 3x4 and 4x4. There's 4x4 here, and 3x3. So lots of different sizes to use for scrapbooking or projects like this. So you want it so the opening is on the front here, okay? And when you feel this, the back has a little bit of, it's raised, it's kind of bumpy there. The other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to mark this line so I can see it better and you guys can see it. You're grabbing a ruler because we don't want to hit the line. We want it the pockets just to the side of the line. So I'm going to mark this one, and it's mainly this one here, and I'll line it up right there. Okay, that's not going to show. All right, so we want to put our sticky part right in this channel right here. So we're going to peel off the back here. And I don't want it right up against that line. I want it just inside that line. Okay, so I'm going to just take that. All right, so there's our first flap. It's a little bit crooked. And I might tear a little bit of the paper up, but it's not going to show. I just want to move it over a little bit there. All right, and then we're going to take our second flap and layer it right onto that one. And we're taking the sticky part off the back. And our pocket opening is on the front, and we're going to layer this right on top of this one. So the edge is right there. Just going to bring it right up along that. Okay, so we have our two flaps on there like that. We've got our pocket. These are really fun to make. All right, so now we're going to put, we need a filling, something to fill this in here. And we're going to add some of our foam strips. So these come in a sheet. Let me pull a package so you can see it. They're in where all the adhesives are in the back of the catalog. And good grief, I'm not seeing it. Maybe I already pulled it out. Let me see. Yep. All right, so they're foam adhesive sheets, and they come in this. I might have cut a little bit off this one. It has a sticky backing. It's like a dimensional but shaped differently. And I'm going to cut it, strip at 3/8 of an inch, and you can cut it with your trimmer. So I'm bringing my trimmer in. I'm going to line it up at 3/8 of an inch. I think Mary might have had hers at 1/2 inch, but I just thought it was too bulky. It won't cut it once, so we're going to flip it over, again put it at 3/8 of an inch and cut it. And we're just going to pull this right off there like that. And then we need another one because that one is not going to be long enough. So we're going to need another piece off of another strip here. This stuff is great because you can use it to, if you have die cuts, a large die cut that you want to add a backing to the whole back side of it, it works great. All right, so we've got that same channel there. We're going to lay this right in the middle. I'm going to take the sticky backing off it, lay it right down the middle there, and then I'm going to take this one and I'm going to bend it where I need to cut it, which is right about there, and that mark will stay there. Okay, I'm going to cut it off, and then I'll save the rest for another project. And we're going to add this one right here, like that. Okay, so I'm going to leave this backing on here because we have another piece that we're going to make a larger sheet or page with a pocket on it. So we're going to come back to this in a minute. So I have cut two pieces. Let's see, these are 5 1/4 by 6 1/2. Let me make sure this is right. Okay, this is 5 1/4, and this is 6 1/2. Okay. And I have a pocket piece, and this is 5 1/4 by 4 1/4. Okay, and we're going to cut this. we're going to mark it and cut it to layer it to be a pocket on there. And I'm going to mark it at 1 3/4 of an inch. So I've got it at 1 3/4. I'm going to mark it right here. This is going to be the top. And then I'm going to go down the side at 1 3/4. Or you can make it whatever measurement you want. I'm going to mark it right there. Oops. And I'm going to cut. I'm going to lay this mark here and the other mark right here. And we're going to cut on a slant there to make a pocket. All right, I'm going to bring this back in and I'm going to add my pocket to my page. Make sure you don't add your adhesive to the top. You want to leave your top open. And we're going to put that right on there like that. Okay. All right, so we have our pocket there and we're going to bring our book back in. What we've got done so far, our little mini album. I'm going to bring it back in and now I'm going to take the adhesive off this and lay this over it, but I just want to make sure this is going to be sticking out a little bit. I'm going to see if I need to trim it down just a little. All right, we'll try it and see. I think it'll be okay. So you can see I'm moving it over just a little bit over that foam adhesive. Lining it up like that. So I think I will hold it right there. I'm going to tear this off. Then I'm going to come in and tear that off. And we've got that layered on there. All right, so this is what we have so far. Yeah, this is, I might need to trim this down just a little bit there along that edge. Maybe it'll be okay. All right, we'll see. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to add 2 more of the flip flaps here, the 4x6 flip flaps. All right, so there they are. And remember, we're going to take the adhesive off of the back. And I'm just holding my thumb at the bottom here. I'm lining that up like that. I have a little bit of an edge here. I've got a bigger edge up there. I probably should have centered that more. And we'll layer another one onto it. All right, so I'm going right along this line right here. All right, so there's 2 flip flaps there. And again, we're going to come in with another strip of the foam. So I'll grab my foam again, my foam sheet. And we want 3/8 of an inch. And I have the remainder of the other one that I cut, so and we're going to lay it right in the center of this. Gotta move this over so you guys can see better. All right. Right like that. And then we need a piece up here. We're going to lay that down right there and bend it right there. Yeah, we're supposed to get a heat wave, or like it's supposed to warm up and rain, which I was really hoping for a white Christmas, but I don't know if it's going to happen. All right, so we've got our cushion there. I wonder if I want to cut just a little bit off that. All right. And now we're going to add our second page, which is the same as the first page. It's 6.5 by 5.25. And now be aware. Oh, you guys, look what I did. I wasn't aware. I wasn't even thinking. I didn't look at the pattern on the other side. All right, so we've got this page here. We've got this. And I wanted the pink, so that's why I chose the pink. But I'm going to cover my mistake. All right, so that's going to go there. And I'm going to trim off just a little bit of this on the end. I didn't even think about it. Looking at the pattern. All right, so I'm going to lay this down here like this, and I'm just going to trim off like 1/8 of an inch. I'm going to start in the middle of the paper. All right. Now it should be, well, it still shows a tiny bit. Let's take just a tiny bit more off. All right, that should be good. All right, and we've got a little bit, I don't know if it'll show on the top or not. Might have to snip that down a little bit with scissors. All right, I'm going to leave that for now. We'll come back to that. All right, so now we're going to use some of those smaller flip flaps, the 4x3s. And we're going to use the ones that lay horizontally, 3x4s. Right here. Thought I had a package open. Yep. All right, so we want the ones, maybe these weren't open. We want the ones that are gonna go, they're gonna go this way. And we want 2 of these for a picture or a little recipe. If you bake with a grandchild or something, this could be a memory book. And you want to, when you put these in, you want to move them all the way over to this edge, because you're gonna, this is gonna be folded up here and adhere down here on that side. So you want to move them way over. And again, the rough side is the back. Your pocket, oh, I took that off and it went back on. Your pocket is on the front here. So I'm going to come in and move it all the way over to the right edge and add that on there like that. And the same thing with this one. You might be able to get 3 of these on there. I'm not sure on that. And I'm going to line this one up with that one. You can see the stitching underneath it. Just like that, okay? I know it looks like it's way over, but this is going to be adhered up like that there. So in fact, I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to add adhesive in this here, down in here, and on this right there. So it will fold back. Like that. Okay, so we'll just bring our glue in and we'll add our adhesive here. And then along down in here. And we'll go along the top edge like that, and then fold that up. Let's see if that lays right here. And we'll give it a little back rub. Okay, now we have a piece that we're going to wrap around the front here. All right, so, and before we do that, I'm going to fix this because I didn't look at the back of the sheet with a pocket when I put it in. So I'm just going to add a piece of designer series paper on plain color on the inside here. We'll have a little bit of the plants around the edge, but that won't matter. So let's measure this. So this is all right, so I need a piece that is about 4 1/4 by 6 1/4. All right, so I'm bringing my trimmer back in. I'll grab a piece of paper here. I'll use the pink. So we want 4 1/4. Well, let's do 6 1/4 first. 6 1/4 by 4 1/4. All right, so this is going to go right in the center here. Yeah, that'll look good. And we'll just add adhesive around the edges. Then you could add a recipe to this page or a photograph. There we go. All right, so we've got that one fixed. And then we could add paper to this one, but I kind of like that, so we'll leave it. All right, so we've got, let's add our binding around the outside here. So I have a piece that is, that'd be kind of pretty too. I think I'll just, actually, I think I'll use a piece of the kitchen paper. Ooh, that's not long enough. Oh, let's use kitchen, where are you? Oh, let's go with this. All right, so we want to cut a piece that is, 1 3/4 by 6 1/2. Should we maybe I should leave it the pink. I kind of like the pink. All right, I'm leaving it. 1 3/4 by 6 1/2. All right, so we're going to score this at 3/4 of an inch on the short side. I'm going to move it up. 3/4 of an inch, and then at 1 inch. So we'll have 2 score lines on this. Three-quarters of an inch and 1 inch, and we're going to fold this like this. So we have this little, this is what it looks like from the top. And then let's see if it fits right. It looks like it fits good. I'll show you the ribbon in that set. And actually, maybe we'll put some ribbon on it. So it's this chevron. And I think I'm going to put ribbon down the length of it like that. So I'm going to cut it a little bit longer. And we'll open it up. And I have some really thin tear and tape from a paper pumpkin. I'm just going to run it the length of that piece. All right, so I'm going to start right there and go down the length of it. I'm going to leave it a little bit long because we'll fold it in like this on each end. Let's see if we can get the end up. Yeah, good. Okay, so this is going to peel all the way off. And then I'm going to take my chevron. I'm going to leave a little bit over the end. And run that down the length of that. Oops, we're taped to the, and then layer it down to the inside. Like that. I'm going to cut this off. Okay. All right, so we've got that running the length of the paper there. And let's add our front flap on first. We want to make sure that's lined up good. Okay. So I'm just going to take this and put it on the front like that. That looks good. We'll flip it over here and add our adhesive to the rest of the inside of our binding piece. We'll go down the edge here. Hold that down. Okay, so there is our front. We open it up and we can use, we can put some little recipe cards in here. I would cut that, but we can use photos here or little recipe cards. I do have a die cut to layer here of Pool Party, of the branching out and I'm going to layer that right there using the largest branching out die. And this can be a place for a recipe or a photo. We'll center it right on there like that. Whoops. Straight, hopefully. Okay, and then I've taken one of the large Memories and More cards. It says Merry Christmas on it. It's this one here, Our Most Wonderful Time of the Year. And I have just die cut this from it with the second largest branching out die. So we're going to add that on top. You can do a little writing or write a recipe in there. Add a picture. Oh, I moved that again. And it's still crooked. Come on. There we go. All right, and then we have two flaps here for recipes or pictures. We have our pocket, and then we have this back page for recipe or picture, and then we have our other pocket here. Now let's add some of the, let's take a look at some of the die cuts in this. Bring them out here. So there's a recipe or an apron here that would be cute on the front. There's a mixer. This would be really cute. We've got the mixer. We have this apron, and you could, what else have we got that has to do with cooking? We've got the coffee thing. We've got a little bit of, actually, we could take this banner here and you could write recipes on it or whatever the occasion was. And I'm gonna put this on here. Let's move this over here like that. And then you can write on it, you could write on it whatever you want. Dorcas, it's a Hobby Haven. Thank you, Margaret. Hobby Haven. And come on, stay down there. So I would add like our mixer here, and our apron maybe going down this way, or not sure how I want that. I think we want the mixer like that. And then this could go here like this. So I'm going to add a couple dimensionals to that. I was looking to see if there's anything else on this. This would be cute on there, or this circle. But isn't it adorable? I just love it. It's just so cute. So dimensionals. Okay, I'll add a couple to this. All right, and we'll put our mixer there, and we'll put our maybe apron this way. I know, I'm going to use this flower here. I'm going to put the flower like this, and then we can use the apron on the inside somewhere. Okay, so I think I'll put that like that. All right, so we've got our, you could even add more ribbon on that like that. I'm not going to add any more things to this probably because until I make sure I know. Well, let's put the apron here. What I want to use it for. Probably baking with grandkids or something like that. Like that, we'll put that there. And then on this page, we could add another one of these. I know, one of the potted plants would be pretty. Right down here would be cute. Hi, Nancy. All right, and then we could add a little coffee cup here. Oops, I need just one, not two. Yeah, so just adorable paper. Really special. And then on and on. You can add so many different things to this. There is, looking to see, this would be cute here. All right, so I'm going to add that there. All right, so there is our little recipe book, and I'll show you the other ones really quick. If I can find what I did with them. Here's one that would be great for a man. If you could dress it up for a man or a woman, either way. And this designer series paper might be on the last chance list. I'm not sure on that. And then the other one that I made was for Christmas, and this is using the Elegant Pines and Snowflakes designer series paper, and also the Memories and More winter card pack. I'm sorry, I can't remember the name of that. So lots of fun these are to make, and even more fun to give. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this, and thank you so much for being with me here today. I hope you have a great rest of the week. Bye now.